guys. I want to wrap up the discussion on Trump's tariff war. First of all, I want to say that the Trump is on the right track uh, for seeking negotiation, seeking the deals, and I was laughing when I saw an article online calling Trump as Donald Forrest. A comedy romance movie, Forrest Gump. The guy with the IQ like 75. Obviously, the author was trying to say that Trump is dumb. I don't think it's I don't think Trump is dumb. It's just of course, as a president, as a public figure, so you have to one of the prices that you have to pay is that people make all kind of a joke, making all the comment on you, so you have to live with it. Okay, but on the other hand, I think that Trump is doing something right. The only thing that I want to, if you talk about the lesson from this tariff war, is that don't corner the big enemies, whether it is in the hard war or in the trade war. You corner somebody, you basically put them, increase their stake. It's their survival that's on the line. Then they will do anything, everything to fight back with you. You know, Plus, the other principle is that the diminishing return of a marginal diminishing return. What's the difference between a tariff of 84% versus 125%? There's not much difference, because the effective return is be decreasing. So, and also I think that because Trump started tariff war, he basically saying that he's sitting here and waiting for people to call him. That may be the case for smaller countries, but for big guys, like EU, like China, you might as well just take some initiative because you're the deal seeker, right? In fact, I think the U.S. should have multiple hat on their head. One is that on the one hand, we can say that we are the victim. That's one hat, right? Because otherwise, why would you start a tariff war? You have to justify it. You have to say, hey, you guys, U.S. has been treated unfairly, and for years, for decades, not anymore. Let's talk. Let's sit and talk, and talk, have a kind of deal, right? So that's one thing. But that's important. That you need another head internally that basically, put the U.S. as a deal seeker. You are seeking deals. You try to maximize your return for the U.S. So it's very important that you have a different head, and then so that's better. Having being a deal seeker is actually good for China too, and also good for the world because China needs some pressure to say, hey, you guys are, using Trump's language, you guys are ripping me off, and then not anymore. You have to do that, and that way, China will be forced to pay more attention to domestic consumptions. Speaking of domestic consumptions, I think one thing that not many people talk about is that there's an income difference. Okay, in the U.S., Americans tend to play the fair game. Okay, so even if the guys, they may, let's say, founders or owners of the company, they may want to maximize, they may want to optimize their own pay, but meanwhile, they also believe that they should treat others fairly. So that way, they believe in paying some minimum wages. They believe that make the other workers to be better off than before. But in China, this is especially the private companies. They're really bad because they just want to maximize their own returns and then at the cost of the other Chinese. So that's why the income difference. They don't want to pay. They want to pay as little as possible for the ordinary workers. That's why it's a infight, domestic infight in China. That's kind of a root of the consumption deficiency problem. because for ordinary people, they don't have much money, you know, to spend on to begin with. So that need to be changed. I think minimum wage stuff, need to get it started with it. So finally, I want to say that the U.S. need to have confidence because the last minute we check, U.S. economy is still the envy of the world, and also U.S. is still at the top of the global value chain. Okay, so so that's why. On the other hand, this gives the politicians some rooms to kind of abuse it. Okay, so that's why we have a. So let's stop here.